Some of this is going to be review for a lot of you. For others, if this is new, really stick with me because your understanding of this is pretty crucial to your understanding of music. The more of this you have under your hands and in your head, the easier it is for you to create your own compositions. We're going to start with the musical alphabet. If you look at the keyboard, you can see that we have groups of 3 and 2 that repeat themselves all up and down the keyboard. So with each repetition, we have one instance of a trip through the musical alphabet. If you look most of the way through this group of 3 to this note right here, that's letter A, and that's the start of the musical alphabet. We're going to count all the way up. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Once we've gotten to G, you can see that we're headed for another repetition. We're headed to another note of the same letter, right? Both of these notes are most of the way through the group 3. That's letter A, and that's one repetition through the musical alphabet A through G. Now there's a specific group of these we're going to learn, especially for you pianists or keyboardists, any of you who work with technology and enter MIDI data or any kind of recording tools that require a keyboard, you're going to want to know this sort of thing. I have to teach you a musical scale. All a scale is a group of notes. If you've ever seen the Aristocats, they have a song about it. If you've seen The Sound of Music, Do, Re, and Mi, they have a song about the major scale because it's such a critical tool to composition. Here's your first one. We're going to go from C to C and back. So here are the letters. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now, if you look at what fingers I used to play that, that's no coincidence, right? I've got a group of 3 here and a group of 4 before we get to a repetition. Take a look at the distances between each of these notes. If I go from C to D, you'll notice that I've skipped one note in the center. If you skip one like this, that's called a whole step, right? There's a whole step from D to E as well, right? You're seeing I'm missing a note here. If we go from E to F, though, you'll notice that there's no half step in between them. The distance from E to F is only a half step, instead of a whole step where we skip one. So there's a group of 3 at the very start that have whole steps in between them, right? Whole step, whole step. When I go from E to F, I'm starting my second group of 4. That makes up its own group of whole steps. F to G is a whole step, G to A is a whole step, A to B is a whole step, and then a half step starts another repetition.